Most times people go into farming and they run off almost immediately because they acquired losses and they don't know what to do. But that should not be a problem, because in this video I'll be sharing with you how to run a sustainable farm business. How to run a sustainable farm business. Businesses are difficult, and especially if you're in Nigeria or in Africa, to run a business, we have so many government policies that can affect your business. But those are secondary. There are primary things you need to do to run a successful and sustainable agric business. And I will give you 6 to 7 steps of what you need to do to run your farm business successfully and sustain your business for a long time. Number one of the things you need to do, or I will do in my farm business that I'm doing already, number one is to get an accountant or a bookkeeper. When I say a bookkeeper, let me say a bookkeeper because let's assume we are all starters. We are smallholders that are starting up a farm new. What do you do? First, the first thing you need to do is to get an accountant. Get an accountant. If you cannot afford an accountant because you're a starter, get a bookkeeper. Record keeping is the essential part of every business. Get someone that will keep record of what comes into your business and what goes out. This person that you're employing will take record of your farm inventories. It is very, very important that you, number one, get an accountant or get a bookkeeper, because before even thinking of getting a farm manager, get a bookkeeper. If you can afford an accountant, get one. But if you cannot afford an accountant, get a bookkeeper that will take record of your farm inventories before even thinking of getting a manager. One of the people that steal from a business is you, the owner of the business. One of the people that steal from a business is the owner of the business. But when you have a proper record of your farm business, you have someone that record the farm inventory, what comes into the farm and what goes out, and your sales. So that, and what you have to know is that whenever you have anything from the farm, you remove money from the farm, the accountant knows that, okay, the CEO on so day took 5,000 naira to drink beer, or maybe 2,000 naira to do what, I don't know. They will record it. They don't have any right to ask you questions of what you want to use your money for. After all, it is your money. But when you want to now balance your books, you will see the number of times you went to the business account, to take out money and how the business is going. Importantly, keep record. That is why you need to, first of all, hire an accountant or a bookkeeper to take record of your farm activities. That is number one. Number two, employ technology. Employ technology. If you don't pay attention to your workers, if you don't hold them accountable, they will run your business down, especially if you have a farm and you stay in the diaspora and your farm is here in Africa or in Nigeria, but you are based in the diaspora. You need to hold everybody of your worker, hold them accountable. Now, how do you do that? Employ technology. You should know when your workers come to work and when they leave work. There should be a clocking machine. The clocking machine is not expensive. It's not expensive. At most 25,000-30,000, you can get one. No, you can know when your workers come to work, when they clock in from anywhere you are in the world. You can know when they clock in and when they clock out to go home. Hold your workers accountable. If you don't do that, they can run your business down. If you say, okay, I cannot put clock in, I don't know why. You can invest so much money to build farm structure, to stock up your farm maybe with birds, maybe layers or broilers, or stock up your farm with goats or pigs. You have invested so much money in doing those structures, but you cannot get a simple clocking machine that is at least 50k. You can get one for yourself. What does it take? Get those clocking machines to know when your workers come to work and when they leave. Number two of the technology you need to employ is CCTV cameras. Set cameras in your farm to know the activities going on around your farm, even if you're living inside the farm. Even if you're living inside the farm, if you want to run a sustainable business, those little things that people take away from your farm, maybe you sell eggs, you produce eggs, okay, little 2 pieces, 5 pieces, 1 crate, 2 crates, that you think it is just 5 pieces of egg, it's just 1 crate. The compound effect of that will run your business down. You must learn to hold everybody accountable. That is number two way of running a successful and sustain your business. Get cameras in your farm. If you're staying in diaspora, that's good. You can watch your farm real time. Even if you're staying inside the farm, you can still watch your farm real time. That is number two of the things you can do to run a successful farm business. Number three, employ quality people. Number three, employ quality people. I said this in number one before. First person you need to employ, first person I employ is a bookkeeper, someone to take record of your farm inventory. Very important. Now, number three, employ quality people. Employ quality people. My brother is staying idle, he's not doing anything, he's in Nigeria, he's not working, and you based in abroad and you want to start up a farm. I have a brother that is in Nigeria, he's not doing anything at the moment. Let me help him. He should manage my farm. You employ a carpenter to manage a poultry farm. How will that work? Because it's your brother, you want to empower him. How will that work? It won't. That is um, the failure of a business even before you start. If you want to run a successful and sustainable business, employ quality people only. Quality people only. That will help you to grow your business and sustain your business. That is number three of the things you need to do to run a successful business here in Nigeria if you're based in abroad. Even if you're in Nigeria, you also employ these techniques. Number four of the things you need to do, rent a place instead of building a new structure. You'll be asking why. Rent a place. You want to start up a farm business, maybe you want to start up broiler, poultry farm, maybe layer or broiler. I want to start up a ranch, maybe you have pigs or you have goats, or you can look out for farm buildings that have been abandoned, used or abandoned. They're no longer using it, they're no longer working with it. You can look out for farms like that and rent, then use. You know why this is important? For you to run a sustainable business, by the time you build structure, one of the mistakes people make is, okay, I want to start up a farm business without calculating how much that farm will give in the first 6, 7, 8 months. You start building structures. When you finish building structures, you realize that you don't have enough money to stock your pen. You don't have enough money to buy other raw materials. At that point, you are in between, do I continue or do I just sell off? Do I continue the business or should I just leave it and sell it off? But if you start by sourcing or looking out for farm buildings, farm spaces that are no longer in use, and you now maintain the place and use it, you just pay rent to use the place for a period of time. When you grow your business and you start, maybe buy a new place if you don't have any already, buy a new place, or you start building your own structure. This is a fundamental way of building a farm. But if you have the money to buy land or to do anything, you can go ahead. This is my advice on people that want to run a sustainable business. You grow your business from first year to how long you want to run your farm business. It is important. If you see a space where you can rent and start your farm business from there, it is advisable rent a space. Rent a space and you grow your business from there. Then gradually you start building your own structure, or you now buy your own land and start building from there. So number 4 thing I will tell you on how to run a sustainable farm business is to rent a space instead of building from scratch. 5, focus on only one product at a time. Kai, focus on only one product at a time. Focus on only one product. I've said this in like 3 times. It is important you know this. If you know this, you will go far in your farm business. You will run a very good, sustainable, long business in agriculture. Focus on one product at a time. I didn't say you should not go into other things. No, you can go into different part of agriculture or different products when you want to, but focus on one at a time. If I want to do tomato business, I focus on only doing tomato business for a long time, and until I know the rudiment, everything, all the profit chain or market chain in that product, in that commodity, I will know them. If I want to do cassava, for instance, I will know all the values of cassava, from planting, harvesting, the both the peeling, the cassava itself. Every part of cassava farm is what I should be known for, is what I should know at my fingertips. I should be able to know the season I will plant, when I will harvest, the right time to sell my cassava, the best time to harvest my cassava. These are the things I will know if I focus in one product at a time. It gives you focus, it gives you direction. You pay attention to that particular product. So focus on one product at a time. If I want to do pig business, I want to go into pig farming, I can focus on only large white and I produce large white alone. If you come to my farm, you can see only large white. There is no other breed you will see. Only large white. That is focusing in one product. Until I understand this particular business to my fingertips and run it successfully, then I can say, okay, I can open up another agribusiness in line with that one. So this gives you focus. This gives you a proper direction. So number 5 of the things I'll tell you to do to run a sustainable farm business is to focus on one product at a time. 6, focus on being the chief sales officer of your business. Be the CSO, be the CMO of your business, not the CEO. Be the CSO and the CMO of your business and not the CEO. You know what? CMO means sales, chief marketing officer and chief sales officer of your business. Nobody can take care of your business more than you do. Nobody have your business at heart more than you, the owner of that business. Be in charge of where money comes in to your business. They don't need to they don't need to always call you when it's time to spend money. We want to buy feed, call Oga. We want to buy this one, call Oga. We want to buy this one, call Oga. But you don't know when they sell and what happens when they sell. No, you should be at the forefront of your farm business. You should know when they are selling. You should know what is happening in the market. Understand market trend. So be the CMO of your business, be the CSO of your business. The chief sales officer of your business is you. The chief marketing officer of your business should be you. You should know when money is coming into your business. Not only in the debit part, only when you are spending, that's when you know, that's when they call you, you know how much is going on, but you don't know what they are selling or what is coming into the business. You should be at the forefront of it. Do not relegate that activity to your team alone. Don't relegate that activity to your team alone. Be the CMO and the CSO of your business if you want your business to thrive. As a beginner, it is important. It is important. You are not a Adenuga. You are just a simple farmer. So you should be at the forefront of your business. You should be the driving force of your business. So be the CMO, be the CSO, and not the CEO of your business. You understand? Pay attention to your business. And the next one again, number 7. But before number 7, I'll also add this one to the previous one. When you are the chief sales officer and chief marketing officer of your business, you can now relate to your customers. You now know your customers' complaint. You now know what your customer really wants and what they are demanding for. And make sure you pay attention to feedback. If your customers don't give you feedback, ask them for feedback. Pay attention to customers' feedback. That is the way you can grow your business. You know what the market needs, what your customers need, and how you can meet up to their demand. Do not play with customer feedback. That is what happens if you are not anywhere to be found when your businesses are going. You're only called when it's time to spend and invest in the business, not when they are selling or making money for the business. So you should know what is going on in your business by becoming the chief sales officer of that business, so you can relate to your customers and they will tell you firsthand what they want or what their challenges are. So pay attention to feedback. Feedbacks are important in every business. It is more important in farm business. So pay attention to customer feedback. Number 7 is learn collaboration. Learn how to collaborate with other farmers. It is very, very, very important. I said something about renting a space instead of building from scratch. This also implies to collaboration. Let's take for instance, you are a rice farmer and you produce rice in large quantity and you want to sell. I want to start processing my rice, destoning my rice, and refining it, and also bag before I sell. So what do I do? Do I now go and start buying machines from China that will cost millions, or can I go to a nearby um, milling rice mill around me and collaborate with them? I'll bring the products, I'll bring the farm commodity to your place. We process it with your machine and I'll give you your commission. Which works better? Collaboration is important in farm business. If you want to buy all the materials you need to produce in in your uh, in your farm, you might end up spending a lot of money that you cannot recover in years. So collaboration is super important in farm business or in farming. It is super important. Another example, okay, I'm into poultry and I produce broilers. Instead of importing heavy machines from China for meal to produce my feed, to mix my feed, can I go to a nearby mill and set my formulation, produce my own feed, and give to my birds? There is possibility that I will spend so much money buying that milling machine, and after milling, it might not give me what I need. The birds might not give me the weight I need from that feed. So what do? I still go and buy commercial feed outside, while the machine that I bought millions will still be in the factory there. That means my money have been tied down there. I cannot do anything with it. It's just there. So why don't collaborate with other people that have the mixing machine for your meal, to mix your feed for your birds? Set your formulation, take it to them. We collaborate. We produce this feed and I will give you your commission. Then I will use to feed my birds until you stabilize your business before you can talk of getting those machines for yourself. This is one of many examples of how you can collaborate with other businesses to help you sustain your business. Most reasons, or one of the reasons why most people run out of business, is when you incur so much expense and the output from your farm cannot be able to foot those bills. You see people running out of business. You see people saying, farming is not lucrative, farming is not, there's no money in farming, there's no money in this one, because they ventured into it the wrong way. So learn to collaborate with other farmers. That will help a long way to sustain your business. Number 8 is the most important of them all. Practice progressive rotational model or progressive rotational plan. Kai, you need to write this down. You need to write this down. Practice progressive rotational model. Progressive rotational model. Now, what do I mean by that? I will explain in simple terms. If you've not been paying attention from the number 1 to this point, at this point, please stop whatever you're doing and pay attention to this number 8. It is very, very important. Now, progressive rotational model is a simple way of doing farm business that can sustain your business for the longest of time. Now, I'll give you 2 scenarios, and this will be the end of this video. Number 1 scenario: I'm a vegetable farmer. I farm tomato and pepper. Mostly, I do tomato and pepper. Now, what do I mean by progressive rotational model? Now, you have the money to do maybe a plot of land where you can farm and get, let's say, 200 baskets of tomato in one harvest. And we all know tomato harvesting can take 1 month, 2 months, 1 month and some weeks, and you are done harvesting your tomato for that production cycle. Now, you have a space that can produce 200, or I have a space that can produce 200 baskets of tomato in one harvest. No, I don't need 200 baskets in one harvest. What do? I will divide that farm into 5. I will divide that land into 5, such a way that I will harvest only 40 baskets every 40 baskets every harvest. Every harvest I'll get only 40 baskets instead of 200 baskets. You know what this thing will do to my business? It will help my business. It will help me remain in business for a long time. Now, that piece of land can accommodate over 200 baskets if I harvest them. What do? I divide into 5 and I plant first batch this month. Once I transplant the first batch, I start nursing the second batch. The next month, I transplant the second batch and start nursing the third batch. The next month, I transplant the third batch and start nursing the fourth batch. By the time I am transplanting the fourth batch, the first batch is mature, because tomatoes are between 90 and 120 days. By the time I'm transplanting the fourth batch, the first batch I planted are already mature and beginning to show sign of ripening. Then we are talking about harvesting the first batch. I'll harvest only 40 baskets from there. Now, what will that help me to do? It helps me to have control of my market, help me to have control of my business. If you harvest 200 baskets at a time, you are most likely fall into the pressure of selling out everything. Your customers will be pricing you cheap, and you will sell. Why? Because you don't want your commodities to waste. You don't want them to spoil. Then you will start selling. You'll be selling even at the cheapest of the price. You'll be selling. But when you do it batch by batch, every cycle you harvest your 40 baskets. You have control of your market. It keeps you in business for the longest of time. Before you harvest the 5th batch, you've already planted another one that will cover for that particular batch. Let me give you another instance with fish farming. If you have money or have money that can run 6 batch of maybe 5,000 fingerlings for me, I won't buy 5,000. It is progressive rotational model. Listen to the word progressive rotational model. I won't stock 5,000. If I stock 5,000 fish at the same time, possibility 90% of the time I will have my fish ready in 4 5 months, all 5,000. What happens if I don't sell them off on time? I'll continue feeding them. Most likely they will not add in weight, but I'll keep feeding them. So I'm spending more money in feeding while customers are not coming, or I not sell up everything, or why they price me cheap because I am now under pressure to sell off my stock. What do you do? Using progressive rotational model, what you do, divide that 5,000 into 5. You stock 1,000 every month. 1,000 every month. Because if you look at it, if you do the calculation, 1,000 fish should eat, to maturity should eat around 64 bags of feed for 1,000 catfish should eat around 64 bags of feed, which is approximately around, if you use our current price in Nigeria, should be around 1.7 million to feed those fish to maturity. Okay, so if you have the money to do 5 batches or to do 5,000, no, divide into 5 and stock 1,000 every single month. What happens is at the 6th month, you start selling your first batch. You only sell 1,000 for that month. Now it is easier to control your market. It is easier to control your produce. What you have in your farm, you can have the mind to say, I have only 1,000 to sell this month. Now you keep your customers in anticipation so that they will start asking you, when will you start selling the next batch? You keep them in anticipation. They will be waiting for you to open up sales for the next batch. But when you have that 5,000 already for the market, you might most likely be under pressure. You sell off, and most times you sell below your price because you want to sell off, because they are still eating, you're still spending more money to feed them. So to run a sustainable farm business, learn to do progressive rotational model. This is the most important of all the ones I mentioned earlier. So it is important to note out all these things while going into farm business. And guys, don't forget, in this channel, we discuss a variety of topics ranging from planting, farm business, agro commodities, and other things pertaining agriculture. I'm sure you got value from this video. If you did, give us a like and also subscribe to the channel, and also share this video for other people to watch and learn. See you guys in our next video.